Thanks for joining us on TVC Breakfast. Welcome to the program. Let's bring you the update at this time. Recently, the Southeast has witnessed a circle of attacks on government facilities and individuals. But despite the deteriorating security situation in Anambra State, INEC says the governorship election will hold as scheduled. Chairman of the Commission, Professor Mahmood Yakubu, believes that security agencies will strengthen safety measures to ensure the atmosphere is conducive for election. Senior correspondent Femi Akonde has this report.
Arriving for an emergency meeting of the Interagency Consultative Committee on Election Security at the conference room of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC is worried about the deteriorating security situation in Anambra State, but says the Commission will not be deterred from conducting the November 6 governorship election.
We wish to assure the people of Anambra State that the Commission is determined to proceed with the election as scheduled. To underscore this determination, the Commission is implementing 2 more activities on the timetable for the election in the next few days. The register of voters will be presented to political parties in Oka on Thursday, 7th October 2021. On the same day, the Commission will publish the final list of candidates for the election. We are confident that at the end of this meeting, we will bring up specific measures necessary to further guarantee the safety of all persons involved in the election.
The Commission suffered severe losses in the past when its facilities came under attack across the state and in the southeast region. The threat to the peaceful conduct of the election is also increasing. INEC says it is concerned about the safety of voters and election officials, especially during the deployment for the election, which will involve the movement of huge consignments of sensitive and non-sensitive materials.
We have almost fully recovered from that attack. The destroyed buildings have been either completely repaired or nearing completion, and we have fully replaced the materials destroyed. This rapid recovery has only been possible because this is a one-off season election. We have sourced some of these materials, such as the 326 electric generators and vehicles destroyed in the attack from the neighboring states.
The Office of the National Security Advisor will now have to give a reassurance that indeed the polls will be safe, and the ongoing collaboration between security agencies and the state government will translate to the peaceful conduct of an election that is just barely 1 month away.
The Office of the National Security Advisor is working assiduously with relevant security and intelligence agencies toward arresting the foregoing ugly trend and other associated security challenges in the Southeast zone and beyond. This determination of the presidency is already being translated into action by the recent joint military operation codenamed Golden Dawn in the Southeast, as well as other security operations across the country.
36 political parties are in the contest for votes on the 6th of November in an election that will take place in a total of 21 local governments, 326 registration areas, 5,720 polling units, with more than 2.4 million registered voters. Femi Akonde, TVC News, Abuja.
So joining me now on Zoom is lawyer and political analyst Fred Nzako to help us make sense of our scenarios and what we can expect or what could likely happen. Fred, good morning.
Good morning. Glad to be with you.
Great. It's good to have you join me. Now, exactly 1 month from today will be the Anambra State governorship election. And with the trends in the last couple of weeks, it calls for worry. But what concerns do you have particularly, especially when INEC is saying that the election, the governorship election, will still hold as scheduled?
Well, INEC is correct and right by saying that the election should hold as scheduled. And because it is a timed election, there should be no vacuum. The governor's tenure was definitely end on 17th of March 2022, and by the Electoral Act and the provisions of the law, the election must hold at least 90 days before the end of that tenure. So INEC is correct by saying that definitely there has to be election. If election does not hold, that means democracy has been truncated in Anambra State, and that will lead to a constitutional crisis, which we wouldn't want to have in Anambra State. But then there is a lot of trepidation in the minds of the people. There's a lot of concern about security of lives and properties of both INEC officials, the electors themselves, and the election management personnel, because of the state of insecurity that has bedeviled Anambra State and the entire Southeast in the past couple of weeks and months. And we only believe and hope that as we advance towards the election, that the security situation will improve. Because if it does not improve, I don't know how that election will take place. So it is a wake-up call on our people to ensure that we do everything possible to provide an enabling environment for us to decide who becomes the next governor of the state. Because if that does not happen, the alternative is very serious to be imagined.
Oh. All right. In the last couple of months, the IPOB, proscribed IPOB, had issued a sit-at-home order several times. And in fact, on Mondays is seen as a day that everyone is supposed to sit at home. Despite the assurances and from government and security agencies that everybody should go about their normal businesses at such days and at such times, people still sit at home because of the fear of what could happen. Now, on the day of election, of course, we're seeing rhetorics from IPOB here and there. But what concerns do you have regarding the apathy from people? Because the people generally are scared when they are caught between what government is saying and what IPOB is saying. Well, how will this impact on the apathy and voter turnout on the day?
Unfortunately, realistically, I must tell you that there's likely to be voter apathy on the day of election, most likely. When things were normal, the percentage of people that come out to vote was usually between 30 and 40% of the registered voters. It has been very difficult to even achieve up to 50% of registered voters coming out to vote on very normal days. Not to talk of these days when the level of insecurity in the state is so high that very many people would not want to risk their lives. But I lay the blames squarely at the footsteps of government and the security agencies, who will ask the people to go about their normal business without providing for them the environment for them to go about their normal business. Nobody will want to take a risk of his life by trying to come out when there is anarchy in the land, when there is a high level of insecurity in the land. And that is why people essentially want to be very cautious and very careful. And if they extend such caution on the day of election, naturally, Mike, your guess is as good as mine, there will be voter apathy. And some people have already started saying that the space of insecurity is tied to the oncoming governorship election, saying that even the governor said it is that the killings are political. But as a government, they should be able to not only arrest the killers, and arrest the killings, and arrest the insecurity situation, and provide the requisite security for people to go about their normal business, and not just to say it, come out, and nothing will happen. When the governor himself and the other top-ranking officials go about in armored vehicles and the retinue of armed security agencies, armed security men, who now protects the people themselves. If the people don't have a feeling of protection, how do you expect them to take risk and come out to cast their vote? So it is a responsibility of government at all levels, especially at the federal level, who has the control of all the security agencies, to provide the requisite and necessary security for people to go about their normal business which of course including going about to vote on the day of election.
All right, the military has launched Operation Show of Force as well as exercise Golden Dawn in the southeast, and we focus also on Anambra State. How much of a game changer will these be going forward, especially towards the election in Anambra State?
Well, from experience, most of these military exercises have only ended up wasting the lives of innocent people without even arresting the major problems of insecurity. Because it seems from all experience that when such exercises are launched, the innocent ones become the victims. The people who ordinarily should be protected become the victim. They are aware of extortion and domestic discomfort given to them by the military on the road and even in their various places of business. And going forward, if such exercises had yielded the desired result, we wouldn't have been where we are today. If such exercise is only meant to disturb the free flow of movement of people and doing their businesses and going about their lives, then the exercise would have failed. But if the exercise is aimed at arresting the insecurity in the land and ensuring that people are properly secured, then it will be a welcome development. So the military will need to change their tactic in such exercises. They will need to change their modus operandi and go against the criminals and not use that as an opportunity to extort the people, which has always been the experience of the past. And if such happens, such that there will be proper security for the people, then it becomes really a game changer, like you said. And I believe that security is not only physical security, intelligence gathering and the thwarting of and nipping the insecurity situation in the bud is what should really pay off, and not to just come and do Operation Show of Force and then litter the whole space with military men who eventually, by the time they finish extorting the people during the day, and then they don't actually secure their lives and properties, then it becomes a total failure. We want to ask the military to change their tactics and put in more efforts in intelligence gathering, put in more effort in clandestine protections, clandestine security provision, instead of coming around to short out of bravado, begin to extort the people and make life unbearable for the ordinary citizen who ordinarily is law-abiding. We want them to go against the criminals. We want them to go against those who are causing insecurity, and not to go against the natural, ordinary, law-abiding citizens and begin to disturb their lives. That is where they will not cooperate with the military, and that is where they will not like what will happen, and that is where they will begin to complain. And at the end of the day, the exercise will seem to have failed. We want the exercise to succeed so that we'll be able to not only protect the lives of the people, but at least have the necessary environment to decide who governs Anambra on November 6, 2021.
All right. Now, the governors are seen to, they are called the chief security officers of their states, of various states. At this time when they originally, constitutionally, don't have the powers over security agencies and agents, except for the influence that they wield, what should governors be doing, especially governors in the Southeast, considering the trend of insecurity in the last couple of months? What should the governors in the Southeast be doing at times like this?
In every environment, in any state where there is this level of insecurity, the blame squarely goes to the foot of the federal government. The federal government has the absolute control over all the security agencies. The governors only control the vigilante in the villages. The vigilante don't have guns. They don't have weapons. They don't have instruments of coercion. They only cooperate with the police in terms of intelligence gathering. And then if they effect minor arrests, which they do with bare hands, they hand them over to the police. So the Army, the Navy, the Air Force, the SSS, the Civil Defense, the police, all those agencies that have instruments of coercion are under the complete control of the federal government. So it is federal government that will continue to beckon to provide security for the people. The role of the governor is to cooperate with not only with the agencies of government, but to, as much as the finances of the state can carry, provide some facilities where there are shortfalls. And I believe that most states, most governors are doing that. They provide them logistics, they provide them equipment, at least especially the non-armored equipment, like vehicles and the rest of them. They provide them with all those things that will help them to implement and do their work. They also provide them with some funds in terms of money and all those facilities that are required. The role of the community and the people is to even cooperate with the security agencies to provide them with the intelligence reports and information that will help them to work. But essentially, the duty lies at the footsteps of security agencies controlled by the federal government. So we cannot stop asking the federal government to help the people of Anambra State and help the people of the Southeast, such that it does not seem as if the government has allowed the people to be suffering on account of non-alliance with the powers that be, or on account of political consideration. And if some people are saying that is why many people are jumping into the ruling party to also help to provide the security for the people, then that is not the way democracy should run. Government should see every part of Nigeria as an integral part of Nigeria, not minding the spate of discontent among some people, and ensure that majority of the people who are loyal to government and who are loyal to the system and who are honestly going about their lawful businesses are protected. That is the first duty of government, protection of lives and properties of the people. And we expect the federal government not to abandon the people of the Southeast, abandon especially the people of Anambra State at this crucial time when their lives are in danger.
All right. We have to leave you here now. Fred Nzako, thank you so much for your insight into this issue. Thank you.
Many thanks. Many thanks.
Great.